Hi friends, hope everybody is doing great. So I'm taking a survey. How many of you are like me in the sense that you start a new project, the diet, the gym, learning a new language, being a better person, and it lasts, all that enthusiasm lasts for around an hour and a half, and then you're back to just where you started, and maybe even worse. Finishing what you start is such an important thing. Not because it's something your mother taught you, just finish what you start. It's like the fundamental of Judaism. Finish what you start. We're about to finish the reading of the Sefer Torah. And as I explained in my last week's lecture, or whatever you call these things, is that if you wouldn't have finished, we would have missed the last letter of the Torah, which is a Lamed, and we wouldn't be able to start again and attach it with the Bet of Breshit of Genesis, which is Lev. So put your heart into the whole experience, because when you do, you become a new person, a transformed person. Quitting actually is micro blades against your well-being. Finishing transforms you into something. It transforms you into a mensch. In the Torah, we learn that you can't start a mitzvah and not finish it. Moshe Rabbeinu, what a great man, right? The likes of him has never been before or will be again. But Moshe Rabbeinu is not the one who gets credit for bringing Joseph's bones to Israel, even though he was the one who discovered the bones. And the bones, there was a promise that when the Jews would be liberated, that Yosef's bones would be brought to Israel. Moshe Rabbeinu did not accomplish that task. And we read in our holy books that it is the Israelites, the Jewish people, who get the credit for bearing Joseph's bones. Poor Moses, he got no credit for that, as great as he was, because it's not what you start. We're all starters, really, we all starters. How many startups? We're all startups in our own way. But how many of us are finishers? This week's parasha, it's so easy to kind of blow it off, to tell you the truth. You know, every Shabbat has its own chapter, its own reading. This one falls into the holiday of Simchas Torah, so you can kind of like, you know, if you're someone like me who tries to write about the weekly parasha, you can kind of like blow this one off, and I'll start again with Genesis, and it will be a new me and a new hairdo and a new backdrop and a new set, and a better version of me will show up then. So I'm going to leave this behind. But you can never get to the bait of Genesis, the Breshit, unless you finish the Lamed, the last word, Yisrael, and you come full circle. That's where the bracha lies. In fact, the word shalem in Hebrew, complete, is the root word of the word shalom, which means peace. And it's also God's name. And the letter vav is inserted in the shalem, in the completion, really to form God's name and to form peace, because there is no bracha in a halfway job. Finish what you start. But not only for the good, also for the bad. Sometimes things just have to end. I don't know if you have people in your life, like I have people in my life, and myself too, I'm not always pointing, is you have like gripes against humanity. My life sucks now because if it wouldn't be for him, I would be this. It wouldn't be for her, I would be that. Well, if I would have known and they were more honest, like so much blaming of the whole universe for all your problems. Let it go. That too needs to come to an end. In this week's parasha, we read about the death of Moshe. The people mourned for 30 days, and then they stopped their tearful mourning. Even for the death of somebody like Moshe Rabbeinu, even for him, we have to stop mourning. So we have to stop mourning if you want to have a full life, a blessed life, a meaningful life. Let go. There's an oft-repeated phrase, and I've oft-repeated it myself, and that's let go and let God. But more than that, just let go. Stop blaming. Stop looking at yesterday's opportunities. I know people who say, if I would have bought this building, I would have been a billionaire today. And if I would have bought that stock, I would be a millionaire today. And if it wasn't for this one and that one and the other thing, and all of life would be rearranged. Let it go, because first of all, nothing happens to you in life unless it's signed off on by the one above. So yes, maybe he's the one who helped make it happen, but he's not the one to blame. You're the one to blame. God sent him because he knew he has that type of personality that could hurt you or cheat you or whatever it is, only because one thing, because you deserved it. Because the Talmud teaches us there is no suffering without sin. Now I know we like the New Age religion version of Judaism where God loves everybody and he doesn't hurt anybody and he doesn't punish anybody. And that's nice if you want to live in Disneyland. But if you really want to be a Jew and you want to understand what Judaism is all about, which you should, because the whole Torah leads to you. I'll tell you why. What's the last word of the Torah? Not only that it ends with the letter Lamed, but the last word is Yisrael. And the first word is Breshit. Created, the last word is Israel. The whole Torah is created for Israel. The whole universe is created for Israel. That's a burden. Don't be so excited with yourself. You're not a rock star yet. It's a burden. You are destined and mandated to be light among the nations. How do you become a light? By doing what you have to do. Doing what you have to do means there's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end. If you want bracha in your life and you want good things to happen, stop starting and start finishing. Just want to wish everybody a Shabbat Shalom. I hope you made it to the end of this video because that's where the points are really made and that's where the blessing resides.